Good evening. It's 6 p.m. We are live in the studio. Man-Child and the Yogi. My lovely wife, Hillary.
Hey.
James Webb.
What up?
And our special guest, my buddy, one of my favorite comics, and just all-around great guy, Adam Burke.
Hi, gang.
Yay!
How are we?
We're good.
We're good. So I apologize. We're starting a bit late. I typed in the wrong address for the Uber.
And I would say I would be mad, but I'd be such a hypocrite because I'm late all the time, and I would have easily typed in the wrong number.
Well, also a hypocrite because you called me sausage fingers. Which, if you look at the difference between my hands and his,
I also don't know if that's hypocrisy. I think that's just mean. I think that's just
mean.
That's just mental.
I meant to say,
Torture.
everybody's
Yeah,
hands
so
are kind of
nice.
sausagey with the little keyboard.
Mm-hmm. Shrek fingers.
Remember the BlackBerry? Click, click, click. Oh, those are lovely. You just knew
What
it.
are you, 400 years old?
Yeah, Blackberry.
Close. But we are here. Sorry we're late. We're glad to be here. Adam, dude, it's so good to have you on here.
Yeah, man. I
sure.
enjoy your company when it's not forced in a weird context.
I guess so.
Wow. I don't even know what that means.
That's literally the definition of a podcast.
Oh my God.
Forced contextual conversation.
Would you please get out of here?
That's so
This is
horrible.
going to happen a lot. Adam's just going to be normally smart and going to lose us.
And everyone's going to take offense.
I'm sorry.
He's going to say something. He's like, no, I literally just called you a nice person.
I don't think he's going to lose us.
He threw out a zinger right before we got on. I was like, oh, look that up. But like Adam and I have been on the road a few times, and it's so great being with him. We were just in Lansing, Michigan, which was great.
Yeah, we had a blast.
That was awesome.
How's everything going with Wait and all that?
It's okay. I do it from time to time. It's weird, man, because I don't realize how it's because I do it about 6 times a year.
Okay.
If you don't know, Wait, Don't Tell Me, it's this show on NPR. It's like, I don't know, how would you describe it? It's like kind
Game show.
It's like
Game
a
show
topical
smart.
game show. It's the kind of it's the kind of comedy you drink tea to, like
And
an herbal.
it's got Bill Curtis's voice on it, who's my favorite.
Yeah.
My friend of mine used to work for him in New York, and he in his green room, I don't know if you can attest to this, he had Peeps. He loved Peeps.
Peeps are so bad for you.
He loved them. He had Peeps on.
Really? to whom would this be news? Who's like, I'm on an
To
all
this
peep
dude.
diet,
It's
dude.
Mars
I've
and
never
my
felt
mom.
better. I
My
just
mom
get up.
loves that.
It's marzipan.
Mama.
I pound like 5 ounces of Peeps.
You mean the pink ones are
I
bad?
go for a jog.
Are they,
Marshmallow rolled in dusted colored what?
they're like
Sugary
crunchy. They
substance.
snap though. It's like a marshmallow, but in a nice.
I thought they were like okra. I thought they were like just natural bird
lot of,
shapes.
yeah, a lot of B12.
Nuts.
A lot of B12 in those. I
You
think.
should
Yeah.
try that diet. Tell me how it
The
goes. Tell me
Peeps
how it
diet.
goes.
It's marzipan.
Nah, man, I'm off the Peeps. I'm on to candy corn. I've never felt better.
The reason I bring up wait though, I mean, because and we'll get into the other
stick.
stuff, and I want you to read your sutra, Hillary.
Yeah, I'm going to.
But I was just saying because when we were in Lansing, Michigan, it's such a small place where we didn't think we were really going to draw that well, and you drew crazy because of that because of that show. It was
Yeah,
great.
it's weird, man. I wouldn't say I'm a draw or anything, but there's always I would always say there's but there's always a contingent from the show. And then the show was very I love the show. Don't get me wrong. It's like it was one of my only comedy goals when I first started. Someone said to me, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, I heard of this show, and I didn't really go for it or anything. I just mentioned it like years out. I was like, I think I'd be all right on that show. Yeah. And then it just kind of I didn't angle for it or anything but anyway. It's sort of genteel, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The comedy, and then so my comedy isn't necessarily always
Sure.
So then I always up front I'll go, hey man, if you came from the podcast, if you came from Wait, thank you so much for being here, but listen, it's not Saturday afternoon,
person.
you know what I mean?
What I've noticed when I see some of those crowds that come out, those NPR crowds though, they're like even a little bit older, but they're like, we're hip, we're here, we're down, you know what I mean? So.
They were too. They were a great
But I
crowd.
meant when I first started showing up, I'm like, if someone doesn't come in a little bit younger, I'm gonna. I cleaned up my act big time for that set too. I was like, I didn't swear at all, so
There's certain older crowds will get mad if you do that though.
Right.
They'll be like, no man,
Yeah.
like
I said it. I've just been saying it longer than you.
I survived.
Right.
I survived the recession in the 70s.
Yeah, exactly.
I can take a few swear words.
Right?
Right. Right. My sweet.
Yes.
Read the sutra. Everyone remembers Hilaire reads the sutra.
Can you tell me what a sutra is first?
Okay, so a sutra is a verse or a passage, basically, from the philosophy of the practice. And the sutras were written by, supposedly, right? We don't really know, but they were written by Patanjali.
All women.
But yeah, we don't know if it was Patanjali. We don't know if
an
it was
Italian gentleman. His pizza is to die for.
Like we don't know if someone went to man,
okay, sorry,
or a woman, or many.
I'm sure it was a woman.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it was. But yeah,
I'm sure it was a woman. Typical broad with her sutras. What?
This is what
marginal.
So clearly, it's man children and the yogi today. All right, so
it's contagious.
If you guys could, I mean, you're probably going to interject with every line. But.
No, Alice. Are we allowed? Right. Are we allowed to make fun of it, or are we supposed to?
Yes. No, you can totally make fun of it. Not really. I'll be pissed, but whatever. No, this is book 4, Sutra 31. Tara Avarnarta. All right, I'm going to skip the Sanskrit because you guys will make too much fun of it.
No. Keep going.
We like it. Makes me hungry.
Okay, so it means I want my actual book. Hold on, you guys talk amongst yourselves.
It sounds pleasingly like Klingon.
Right?
Like if the Klingons were like completely the opposite.
Yeah, if they were trying to fuck. Yes.
If they were trying to fuck. The Klingons are definitely trying to fuck. You kidding me?
You kidding me?
Have you seen those sashes they wear? Klingons are DTF. Yeah.
DTF. That's true. All right, here we go. I'm going to try to stay very serious. Tara sarva avarata malapetasya nanasya anivityat shnayam alpam. And this means, but wait, this is the best part. Then all the coverings and impurities of knowledge are totally removed because of the infinity of this knowledge. What remains to be known is almost nothing. So, Adam, let me get your take on that.
Can you read that one more time in Sanskrit? I think I understood it more in the Sanskrit than the translation.
Okay, so, but wait, it gets even better because then it goes on to say, what is impurity? It is like the sensitive coating on photographic film. The capital I and mind coat our mental film and then want to catch everything they see.
But this is a modern interpretation, right? Because I was going to say, wait, it's on film?
Right?
Okay. I was going to say, when were these written?
If not for the sensitive film, you may see many things, but they wouldn't affect you. So the whole point of this sutra is to remove the veil or the film of Maya, illusion, basically all our garbage, so that what we see realistically and actually clearly. We see things for as they truly are. And this sutra, because it's the end of the book, is saying once all of that is done, this
is the end of the book?
It's close.
Spoiler.
It's very close.
once you learn all that.
I was going to read that.
Once you get to this point, the veil's been removed and you essentially are not affected by the world. You're not pushed and pulled and tossed about and traumatized by the things that happen to you.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's cool.
It is though. It is. I mean, I know the sort of like the sophomore way of looking at it is a bit like, it's sort of when people talk about being on mushrooms, right? But it's, well, no, because they say really. That, right? Don't they say where it's like it's whatever they say. I guess the cod version is cleaning your third eye or whatever. But but that thing of like being on mushrooms, of like seeing the world as it is and removing the film is exhausting.
Yeah, it is exhausting.
The garbage is easier.
Well, yeah, because Adam, that's
easier.
A good point, because the whole thing that I feel with yoga in general, why obviously I'm always like don't do it the way I should, is because it makes you look at things honestly, and you're working like these 12 steps or this yoga or whatever it is into these things where it's like you really look at your face the music,
right.
kind of, and it's tough.
Why would you not want to do that? You get
Well,
one
why
lifetime and one opportunity as this person, this
why did
soul. Why would you not want to leave it
'Cause
cleaner for
Netflix.
the next one?
Yeah. why do people like to have 3 cocktails so they can be in the room with somebody? Because nobody. It's true.
That's your film.
That's
I'm gonna work up a good film.
I'm gonna go work up a good film if he's gonna be here.
Alcohol is just an eye patch for your third eye.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's like when I was bartending back in the day, I used to work with this guy. And he got fired for it, but he's like, "We need an attitude adjustment," and then he just like slammed some shot of bourbon.
Was that the name of the drink? That's a good name for a drink.
Attitude adjustment.
It is a good
And I
name.
remember the manager fired him. He's like, "Yeah, too many attitude adjustments last night, dude."
We need to adjust your attitude back the other way.
Yeah, back the other way. Oh man.
All right, so wait, here's a question though. Do you believe in karma?
Well, obviously not, because I'm making fun of the Vedas.
Basically, you are making fun of the Vedas.
So what? By the way, I had a question before. I'll answer your question in a second. But do you? What would we call the overall theology? What's the overall?
There is
the
no
Vedics or
theology. So, what's in most of the philosophies of yoga, you're going to read that they're not attached to a specific religion. In fact, Light on Yoga says it the best, and this is an Iyengar book, and he says, just like philology is the study of all languages, yoga is the study of all faiths or beliefs.
Okay.
So, the hope is that regardless of what someone believes, all of these concepts are accessible. Truly, at the end of the day, all of the sutras, the entire philosophy, yamas, niyamas, etc., the Vedahas, the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, are just saying, be a better human being.
Don't be a dick. Yeah.
Really, just try to live a more.
What's "don't be a dick" in Sanskrit?
Yeah, what is it, baby?
I don't know what the word "dick" is in Sanskrit. I don't.
Can we
I will know next time.
Is this
We're
the
together.
modern?
Because it is a language. No, but like if you believe in karma, then the work that you do in this lifetime sets you up for whatever you have to do next in a better way. Right? There are 3 kinds of karma, and they spell spa. That's how I often remember them and teach them to my teachers. But there's the sanjita, and this is all the baggage that you drag in from the past lifetimes that you haven't dealt with correctly, that aren't exhausted yet. And then the prarabdha, which is present karma, which we're constantly dealing with and making because we're making decisions, choices.
Saying stupid shit.
And then the agami, which is the future karma, which essentially means, you come in with a soul that's strong enough to say, I know I'm dragging stuff. I also know I'm going to create karma. Am I? Yeah, I'm strong enough to also do this, this, and this.
Is it ever like that feels like, because that's like 3 lives then you're kind of trying to live correctly?
We're trying to do this in thousands and thousands of lifetimes.
Oh, so what's the fucking rush?
And this is what I've asked her before.
There's no
Honey, I've
rush.
asked you this before. I was like, when someone tells me it's like, you're going to come back somewhere else if you don't exhaust this karma. I'm like, if I don't get to enjoy or be hurt by it later, it's hard for me to care enough like I should, right? You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're going to come back and, that person in a past life didn't deal with something. It's like, but I'm not conscious of that. Right?
Right, but you are actually, because of all that stuff comes with you, whether it's a phobia or, just being aggressively angry at everyone.
But when I die, I'm not gonna pop up somewhere and go, oh, I'm over here now. Like,
No,
What were you asking? Will you remember?
Yeah, well, I remember.
You don't remember them on purpose, and actually the sutra right before this one says that. It says that if you remember all of your past lifetimes in your present memory, you'll be way too confused.
Is this the system where I might come back as a different type? Like, I don't necessarily come back as a human?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Look, shapeshifters.
So like the sutras tell, in one of the sutras, it makes this joke that if you're very greedy in a lifetime, you come back as a pig.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you lie and steal from people, you come back
the
as a
sutra's
fox.
full of such knee slappers?
Knee slappers. So how
I couldn't put it down. It was the last minute. By the way, I'm making fun of the. Here's what I genuinely think about this kind of stuff. I think any person has the right to make fun of a text, because I think in making fun of a text, it actually makes you pay attention to the text.
I agree.
And I think that
Sure.
I think like
I
there are
totally
people
agree.
like there's like theologians and Christians and all sorts of people who are able to like have fun with it. And I wouldn't necessarily make fun of the belief,
Yeah.
because that's
Exactly.
that's the thing to me. Like I really think belief is very functional.
Yeah.
Where it's like if it doesn't get in your way and it doesn't get in anyone else's way, and I mean this in a more practical way than just, hey, live and let live. I mean it genuinely, like, I mean, when you ask me if I believe in karma, it's like, I don't personally, because it's something I can't kind of, wrap my head around. And I am, because by the way, my actual glasses are filthy, so you've no idea what my fucking third eye. My film is like that fucking, like a Charlie Chaplin film with all the scratches on it. You know what I mean? It's just a thick patina. So
a big word.
I personally don't, but patina is 3 syllables.
Okay.
You lunatic. I hate that. I hate when people go big word. It's not a big word. It's just a word you don't fucking know.
Yeah, big for me. Boom.
Oh my God. I'll teach you what it means.
Plinth is a small word. People don't know what the fuck that is.
Fuck. Stop it.
6 letters.
Stop it.
Stop it. No, I believe that faith is tremendously important, and I think that's deeply individual, and I think there's a difference between religion and spirituality. We get to decide
totally.
what our own spirituality is, all of us. And even if the label is the same, it's different.
Right.
Because it's ours.
So why are these sutras so important when you do teacher training to teach?
Well, I mean,
giving them scruples
it's the philosophy of the practice, truly. And what I love to do with the sutras, and this is part of what's in my book, Can Survive a Yogic Journey.
Plug.
I'm slowly writing. Is to make all of these really tangible, because they're applicable to the way that we live our lives now. And even though some of them may seem really far-fetched, there are bits and pieces that we can say, all right, ahimsa, right? Nonviolence, thought, word, and action. That's really difficult.
Right.
That's basically impossible. To not have one negative thought about yourself or someone else in a day.
Shit.
I had 9 while you were saying that. Not about you.
That's okay, too. But what you can do is you recognize it. You suddenly become aware of the way that you're behaving to yourself and to other people. And even if one of those patterns gets changed, that makes a difference. Because maybe the first thing you think when you wake up isn't mean to yourself. And that changes the whole day.
Well, or definitely the ripple effect of definitely if I go out hard on someone, I feel like it affected their day. If I freak out on someone, like road rage or all that stuff, that can ripple into something else for someone else bad.
No, that's
true.
true.
And I feel like that kind of karma happens to me all the time because I feel bad when I indulge because I know it's easier to be sweet. You know what I mean?
Are you quite an angry person?
I get pretty hot just because I get but.
Well, so this is like is this like the most, is this your project?
Well, no, it's funny though. People
this
think
is like her thesis. If she fixes him,
he's
her
my
proof
karma.
of concept.
Exhausting karma.
Right.
People think that she needs yoga
not
more than
fixing
anyone.
him.
She's like a pistol.
Yeah,
But she does yoga more than anyone.
But
she is currently addressing the problem.
Yeah.
As indeed am I.
Yes. So, well, you know what? It's just, I don't want to be angry. I don't. And I'm less angry because I don't drink.
That's what his book is called. I don't want to be angry.
Honestly, really, once you pull down his veil, he's the gentlest, sweetest.
Give it to me, girl.
Kindest human being. No, he truly is. He's really generous and loving.
No,
but I think there has to be a lot of trust there for that to come down, for that to happen.
And that's another thing, it's so many people, talk to me. It's like, you work on this now, work on this. And it's like doing all the work I did in sobriety and stuff. And I do want to keep getting better and peeling the onion back. But I also kind of just want to first of all, I don't want to fix anything that was broken before.
Right.
I'm good. And I people need to be okay with that. Because we're like, no, you really need to deal with it. Do I really need to deal with it more? Can I just be nice and kind of do nice things now or whatever, you know what I mean? And because I'm like
you're like the card is roadworthy. It doesn't need any aftermarket parts.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I just feel like I just don't, I feel like there's a lot of that going on where you could spend I have a friend, God bless his heart.
Sorry, I'm getting weird static. Is that me?
Yeah, it's probably a phone. Someone's phone or something.
Okay. Never mind.
Okay. I have a friend that he's got he goes to sleep with crystals on his shoulder and drinks celery juice 24 hours a day, and he is miserable. So I don't want to spend too much time thinking maybe you're saying it's I don't want to think too much about what I need to fix about myself, but I do know when I'm off, and I know when I think I've went too far into the upside down.
I feel like opening the box of monsters becomes part of the work. because what eventually makes you sick or doesn't allow you to take that last breath without regret is the box of monsters that's been shoved down and then closed and locked, and eventually all of that comes out anyways.
Right.
I actually do feel that, like, honestly, when I saw your Poppy pass, and he was such a happy man, and like
So
see how gently he passed. I feel like I don't want people around me till the very end, because I don't want a bunch of stuff to, I don't want to just, you know what I mean? Who knows what's gonna happen?
But wouldn't it
I
be
do
nice
believe in
to
that.
take care of all of that first, so that
Yeah,
wouldn't
I guess. I mean,
have to happen, right?
what was your childhood like, Adam? I mean, like, as far,
Jesus.
you know what I mean? Like, I mean,
that
as far
fun.
as like,
Dun-dun-dun.
do you feel like there are things that you needed to?
Oh, I wish I had a box to put my monsters in. We couldn't afford the monster box.
Right.
Ours were free roaming. I've never seen. That's the thing. That's the interesting thing to me. Like, I've done. There's all this stuff you talk about. Working on yourself.
Yeah.
And all that. I've done none. I've done zero, and it probably shows. But I just never have, and I've never done that. And the thing is, I don't know if it's like, I know a lot of people kind of excuse or use their upbringing as an excuse for
Sure.
not doing shit. But
Sure.
like the Irish are famously anti-therapy. We've gotten
sure.
a lot better. We've gotten
Yeah.
a lot better, but we're bad at it. We're like, I remember my mom saying to me once, she was talking to an art therapist, and she literally goes, I don't get all this therapy shit. Like, my mom goes, get over it. Just go have a drink, get over it. And I was like, Mom, how many people do you know in your village that drank themselves to death?
Right, exactly.
She was like,
yeah.
quite a few.
Quite a
now
few.
you mentioned it. I was like, that's why.
I agree a little bit with kind of that philosophy too, where it's like not everything needs to be. I mean, like younger kids with all their therapy and all their stuff. It's like sometimes it's like don't need it all the time. Like you don't need it to get through. Sometimes you have to be like, this happened, I'm good. But I know things need to be worked out. But it's also like my brother was talking to me. He's like, aren't you really upset still about Dad did this? And I go, all I can say is that I don't dislike him, and I'm not thinking about it every day. So I think that's good enough for me. I don't know if that means I'm shoving it down. I mean, I don't know if I'm shoving it down.
Now, do you think your brother was asking if you were upset, or do you think your brother was trying to bring up the fact that he was upset?
Well, yeah, we talked about that too. But he goes, you don't remember this, and I go, I do remember. I go, but I'm telling you, I'm not trying to be insensitive to what you're bringing up to my brother. But I said, I just don't. I really think that as you get a little bit older, like your mother's, it's like you're kind of like, all right, well, I got a lot of good people. You're more grateful for the things you have, kind of thing. Yeah. I'm not just, it's just a lot.
Yeah, well, you don't want to blame. I mean, blame doesn't get anybody anywhere.
Or blame, or just like being like really like having like this is why I messed up. Like you were saying, it's like if it's like, okay, don't ruin your life over it. And that's what I was doing for a while, and I realized it was just kind of just not feeling sorry for myself. But then, because I went to therapy too, and I'm telling you right now, I had to cut the guy. I go, dude, what are you doing? What are we doing? I've somehow talked you out of therapizing me. Like whatever. All of a sudden, like anything I did tell him, all of a sudden he was shitting on my family more than me. I was like, hey, dude. I was like, this stinks. Is it because it's sliding scale? Because you stink. But so and then
is that how they do it? Like, that's the level of therapy.
I was in New York,
babe.
and like the many times I tried to quit drinking over the years from 2000 to 2012 when I stopped, it's just like I was, constantly go to this therapy, like it's sliding scale, like it's free, it's this and that. It's like, and it was all just really about me kind of actually taking accountability. That was good. Therapy didn't do it. As soon as I started being okay with me, I started not being all crazy. But it's like, I don't know if therapy
Your
gets...
therapist you're like, therapy didn't help me.
You know what his
Your
name
therapist in the background going, oh, didn't it?
His name is Donald. His name is Donald Zelke.
Oh, no.
And the reason they hooked me up with him because... No, they hooked me up with him because
That's
he
Dr.
was...
Donald Zelke.
It was in his house, though, in East Harlem. He lived in a creepy little brownstone with all his, like, what's that star called? Michaels or Charlie and David, or like kind of stuff like that, like fake plants and flower arrangement, like fruit, like very, very corny old, like an old lady lived there, but it was a man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you call that?
I didn't know what you were trying. That's amazing. I did not know what you were
really
trying to
old
describe.
haunted house, but basically.
Were you trying to describe plants?
An old queen. He was like an old queen.
Oh,
okay?
God.
Like plants
I just
You couldn't.
Plastic fruit.
you know, in this climate, I just can't do it. I don't want to marginalize
God.
anybody.
You couldn't remember the word potted plant, so you went straight to homophobia. Right?
Yes, no.
I think it was an aspidistra, or that guy was flaming.
Anyway, so I felt like I didn't get the right therapy. Some people go to therapy.
shit.
Oh, I've been in therapy for 20 years. How's it going? I mean, I know.
Okay, so
I know comics that go and shit on to their therapist every week.
Why is it, according to television, every therapist has a collection of African masks? Have you noticed that?
Yeah,
Every
it's
time
true.
someone goes, there's like 9 fucking
Oh,
Kenyan
man.
totems
Makes
in there
them
for
seem
some
worldly.
reason. Yeah, exactly.
Worldly,
You bought that in the
intelligent.
fucking. You bought that.
And anyone
Yeah, Target. Yeah, you got that from Amazon.
And I-
You didn't get it from the Amazon. You
The-
got it from Amazon.
And another thing is, I know 3 psychiatrists personally. Like, I don't see them. They're all nuts. They're
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah, yeah.
So why they're nutty, and then they want to.
this is why I do yoga. So yoga isn't like talk therapy. You choose when you get on your mat. You choose how much of you want to dig into. I have practices that are strictly playful because I'm not going to dig into my shit every day. There's way too much to deal with. So I don't think people would come back to their mat if we had to do that every day.
What? Sorry, go ahead.
No, but it's part of it is that there are days when that happens and you don't seek it. The practice just you end up exhausting and opening pieces of the body that expose the emotional body.
Makes you more vulnerable.
It allows out the stuff that we hide because the walls come down. And when that happens, you feel moved by the practice. And most people leave and they don't really even know why they cried on their mat for an hour and a half. But it matters because you don't have to go backwards.
Is that why
to
the
figure
mats are
out.
soggy? I'd like
It
to
is.
think that's why
It
the mats are soggy. It's,
That's
just,
why
it's all right, kids. It's just tears.
It's just tears.
I say to my students, we don't know if it's sweat or tears or snot. It's all salty and just get in it. 'Cause
Ooh.
no, really, it's true.
What do you feel about? Because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there's yoga places you can go to that doesn't have any of this sort of like
That's not yoga.
mystical.
It's literally not yoga.
Okay, but they'll call it yoga.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't. And that's our
They'll
Western.
put it on the sign.
It's
of
physical,
course,
yeah, like
that's
yoga
our
works.
Western definition of the one limb of yoga, asana, being pulled out as the most important piece.
Right.
Yoga was never supposed to be a workout. It's a work-in. It was about emotionality.
I feel like I triggered the stump
did.
speech here. Okay,
It was
all right.
about emotionality, mentality. The physicality came literally
Because weren't they just
almost 1,000 years after
because
the
they were
philosophy
their
was
bodies
written.
were falling asleep, right?
Yeah, because they were sitting in meditation.
They're just laying like
in
they're like, we gotta
lotus.
do something to move.
They were sitting in meditation for 3 hours at a time and their bodies were falling apart. And so the system of asana, the physical practice, came about to keep the body fit enough to sit still in your own shit. But yeah, we in the West, we take the piece of something that makes the most sense to us and we run with it. And everybody here, it's really interesting because I won't call any of these places out, but there are so many where it's all about faster, harder, stronger.
That Daft Punk song.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's what. But I mean, think about what goes along with that environment. It's competitive. It's comparative. Most people show up because they want to be skinnier, which usually means I don't feel like I'm good enough the way that I am. The first rule of yoga, or the first rules, are ahimsa and satya. Like, be nice to yourself. Be kind. Honor who you are, the way that you are. Show up as you are. Yoga is non-competitive and non-comparative, and I think in the West, that's our hardest piece to pull out because we're so conditioned to look like
Soul
something
cycle.
other than what we are. I've never been there. I have no idea what I don't know if they're good or bad or whatever. I've never
It's a
been
different
there,
thing. It's just like a workout. People want to feel like they.
What's the soul part of
so. I have a
Soul
lot
Cycle?
of people that love that.
I don't know.
mean,
It's
I
just
don't-
it's where they.
Because Soul Cycle sounds like what she was talking about, karma.
Yeah,
That's literally
exactly.
a soul cycle.
Right,
is
and this
soul
is
cycle.
a
That's true.
bicycle class or whatever you call
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
But like people go there because you can drink your face off the night before and then go in there like, oh, it's Soul Cycle, and you sweat so much they feel like that's what they want to get out of with yoga. It's like they're getting that
And they have little rivulets. They have little funnels that dry. All that sweat goes straight, and there's a dipsomaniac with a straw.
Just back there with a gold hoodie on.
90% sweat.
If you take the real definition of yoga, though, anything can be yogic. Maybe somebody goes to Soul Cycle and that's still yogic because they're touching a piece of their
Let me ask
self
you this.
that wouldn't open otherwise.
So in India, it's a male-dominated thing.
It's not anymore. It was. Women were not allowed to practice yoga when
Why is that?
asana first started. I don't know.
Because
we don't want you.
By
For all
the
the
way,
same reasons women couldn't vote and do all kinds of shit.
There's a big book called The Patriarchy. It's a big leather book with a golden clasp, and you open it, and it's one word: cause fuck you.
Yeah, seriously.
Because I'm hungry.
So this is now our fuck you back.
Making me some food. Yeah.
No, I don't know why.
You don't know why. I just wondered because that's a weird thing, right?
Yeah, but it's not that way anymore. Not at all.
Yeah.
How do you feel about crystals? Someone mentioned crystals.
So
She loves crystals.
So here's the thing.
Jessica Curry loves crystals.
I was talking about the '60s Motown group.
I like them too.
Boom.
Because I used to make jewelry, I actually really love gemstones and the properties that each stone carries. I think they're very cool, and for me, with all the shit in my life, I figure whatever is going to help. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'll try acupuncture. I love it, by the way. I'll try any kind of esoteric healing, or I'll pretty much try anything as long as I feel like it's positive and could potentially help.
But if you think about it, though, like if I'm not saying they don't, but if crystals had like healing properties and stuff, wouldn't like miners be the chillest fucking?
Yeah, exactly.
There's guys who are down in fucking Virginia, the rock face.
Maybe
it's hot down here. I don't know what you're talking about.
Covered in amethyst.
It's wonderful.
Amethyst.
But there are certain stones, like I would never wear black onyx because way back in the day,
horrible band onyx.
That used to be the stone that they used to suck demons out of people, and they used to trap the demon in the onyx.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's the monster box.
That's the monster
It
box.
is. That's the ring of that's the ring.
You got any monsters in that box? Yes, I have a demon in my body.
Yeah, that's bad.
You believe in so much.
But that's why I won't buy jewelry from estate sales either, because they come with other people's mojo on them, and you have no idea.
I do believe in that. We went in to look at this apartment on Gray Street before we moved into Park Place.
Oh my God.
The whole place was remodeled, except for they left one mirror mantle kind of old fireplace set up.
Giant old piece of furniture.
She walked in, she goes, "Get the fuck out of here!" Right? It was bad, and I go, "Wow, okay, we're leaving." It creeped me out though too. It looked so out of place. It looked like it was
What's a mirror mantle?
Like it looks like it was a mirror, but then it was connected to like a big piece of wood that was like an antique, like they put like a
sort of like an armoire.
No, like over like the frame of a fireplace or something. One of those things. I don't know whatever they're called, but it was
so it was a mirror, like that mirror had.
Yeah, they left them. It felt creepy to me too. Like for them to take everything out of there, and it was one of those. I guess they pre-war style Chicago apartments, those brick ones with the big.
Yeah.
So it's like that. So everything was really old and cool and creepy already, but then remodeled inside. But then they go, "We'll just leave this piece." And she was like, "We're not living here."
That's where Grandma lives.
Grandma's not leaving. Gets the price for you.
It's like it's in Irish wakes. That's where they cover the mirrors.
Yeah, exactly. No, for real. That's a real thing.
Irish, they seem to have a sensibility that I'm.
My contention is that people cover the mirrors at Irish wakes because they don't want to have to polish the fucking mirrors. So someone made up a thing. We're like, oh no, the spirit will see itself leaving the body.
No, it's a thing that goes all the way back to exorcism and exorcisms in Catholicism.
I knew this guy. I knew this old Irish dude in New York that had moved to Ireland and back to Manhattan several times. He owned a big construction company, did very well, but he'd always tell me these stories like you can go into a pub in some village outside of Dublin or somewhere, and guaranteed someone will know somebody that you know from like New York City or something. And they said these stories
that's called being haunted by the living.
Yeah, right. But he was just talking about. He was just like saying like you end up knowing someone that lived in New York and went back to Ireland and went. Yeah, whatever.
Of course, man. Well, no, because we're the worst. Because there's like 5 million of us there,
right?
And there's 90 million of us everywhere else.
Hell yeah!
Right.
And we're very. Anyway, that's a topic for a different podcast. But anyway,
I was listening, dude.
I know, I was too.
No, it's just we were so successful in America because we were a white lower class workforce
Yeah.
that could speak the language.
Sure.
And
sure.
then every other country, like Germans and Italians, would have been more successful, but
Sure.
they had the language barrier.
Sure.
But the Irish came over because they were forced to speak English.
Yeah.
So when they came over, so the first 2 generations of Irish were all dying in canals and fucking
Yeah.
building the most dangerous buildings and all the rest of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But by the 3rd generation, they're cops. And once you're
Yeah.
a cop,
Yeah.
then that's political control. Once
Yeah.
you're a cop and once you're a clerk,
Yeah.
a city clerk, then that's why, in my estimation, that's why there's an Irish Catholic president.
Right.
110 years after we first showed up.
Exactly.
Right.
Because we're just like, because we were, that all that shit about like, people are like, oh, the Irish were treated worse than blacks. No, we weren't, because we weren't black.
Right.
And
Exactly.
like,
yeah.
we weren't. Like, it was, I mean, we were treated shittily.
Yeah.
Sure we were. But
Yeah.
like, there was no black Catholic president in the 60s.
Right.
Nor would anyone have dreamed of that. But you know what I mean? But look, by the 1890s, the Irish are running New York.
And they were but everyone was dropping the O. Like my friend, the O'Keefes, they're Chris Keefe now. A lot of people drop the O in the New York.
Well, because the Irish would do work like be cops.
Yeah.
But the Germans wouldn't. The Germans were like, I'm a cabinet maker.
Yeah.
My father's a cabinet, my grandfather. So
Yeah.
they were like, and industrial America was like, we don't make cabinets by hand anymore, you dipshit.
yeah.
And they were like, no.
Well, they're good quality, and I can whittle one out for you.
Like, in a mere year and a half.
If I tell you 6 weeks, it'll take 10. So
And it'll be the kind of cabinet you can trap a ghost in.
That will never leave the apartment.
it's sturdy. No, I'm always curious about it because I was fascinated by like all that 5-point stuff in New York and just the neighborhoods on the Lower East Side and
Yeah.
that stuff. It's like that stuff. I eat that shit up. It's
Yeah,
great.
man.
Good stuff, but good stuff.
Yeah, none of those fuckers were doing yoga.
None of somebody probably was, right?
No.
You don't think
I don't
so?
know, maybe. I don't know.
Probably something
I
like.
mean, who knows?
I was gonna say something.
Who was the first yogi, you think, in America?
Oh, that's a really good question.
That-
I mean,
the rapey guy?
No,
Beaker?
he wasn't one of the first.
You said the rapey guy or the rapey?
The
Yeah,
guy
there's a
that started
podcast
Bikram
called
Yoga is
3030.
like going to
Oh, I
prison
heard
for-
about that guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he's
because-
not going to prison because he escaped back to wherever he's from, and which I believe.
You know what
is
yoga
India.
came down to
He-
for him after all that horse shit that he built up around him? Pussy. He just wanted to have sex with women more than he was supposed to. That's how shallow it was.
Yeah, it was
I'm
that, but
guessing
it
that's
was
not
also
super.
power.
Power, yeah.
I mean, it was about power. People gifted him cars and jewelry, and
Bad.
the controversy then becomes, and I think we're dealing with this with a lot of styles right now, is blame the guru, blame the teacher, don't blame the style. And Eddie Stern just talked about this on Heartbreak Kids, Taylor Hunt's podcast. The idea of guru shouldn't exist anymore. It's not a thing. We don't have that anymore. Especially in the West, who those that were considered gurus were like swamis and had a great grasp on the ancient philosophy of the practice, and we're just not that we don't, because I love it. I've been in this book literally since I was 18 years old. I'm steeped in the philosophy, but I would never. My teacher too, Mahdi Azrati, it's an uncomfortable word for students to even use. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The idea of it doesn't really even exist.
Good rapper, guru.
What guru actually means is from darkness to light, and that's,
R.I.P., man.
at the end of the day, that's our responsibility as individuals, is to bring ourselves out of the dark.
I'm writing this karmic crime show for Netflix about a guy who he's a criminal, and then the cops chasing him, and then they both die, and then the criminal comes back as like a duck, and then the cop comes back as like
So you do believe in karma.
as a
Clearly you
hamster,
do.
and then it's like fuck, and then he keeps getting reincarnated till he can find the one body where he's got the upper hand.
That's amazing.
It's great.
The quantum leap.
And that is totally karma. It is. You do believe.
Are you
do
submitting to
believe.
Netflix?
No, I just made that up. That's all.
Wonderful. I
gotta
follow
make a good name for that.
Adam's stuff on Facebook, and he says something like, "Oh, that's really." I wonder if he's doing that. That's interesting. Or like little things about movies. I learned more about the news just following Adam. And I had him in the car. I had him trapped. I'm like, all right, I'm ashamed of this, but let's go through a few things that I want to know. Who's Koch?
Oh yeah.
What's going on
Coke.
what's going on with Popeye?
Coke. God.
Merit Koch. What's going on with Popeyes and why no one wants to eat there? Because I didn't want to. These guys are always talking about all the Facebook. I was like,
It's so great because I can make up anything.
Everybody wants to eat at Popeyes.
but
They
I
don't
was
want to eat at
I was driving. I
Chick-fil-A.
turned to me. I'm like, all right, just give me a little
You
news.
could. I make up things
I needed
all the
some
time.
topical information, so I'm not completely in the dark. So I could go, oh, that guy Coach.
Coke.
Just said it.
Coke.
I make up things all the time, and he does repeat them.
Do you?
It's really lovely. I do.
It's really
I do.
bad.
I make up
Speaking
things
of
all the
that,
time.
this
I'm pretty sure that was all made up, but you just read out the top.
It's not. It's not. I can prove it.
it's a menu for takeout.
Right.
Oh, but yeah, I do make. I'm pretty gullible sometimes, I guess.
I'm pretty gullible.
Yeah.
I hate that when people will do something and then they're like, no, of course not. I was like, well, that was
That was
the
interesting.
thing that you said, it didn't make me laugh. So it was a lie. It's just we can all just go around lying to each
Yeah,
other. You're not a
exactly.
merry prankster. You're just full of shit.
I'm ashamed to admit that in second grade, it took a kid about an hour to explain to me what ABC gum was. Already been chewed gum. I thought it was a package of gum that looked like it was chewed up.
Oh, is that like a kid's gag where you want some ABC gum?
Yeah, already been
Yeah.
but I was like, is it really in a packet? Does it look chewed like it's squished down? And he was like, dude, it's the first time I think it was the first time I was ever called.
How many
like,
pieces had you eaten?
I
Stuff's
don't know. He
delicious.
just kept pulling them out of his
good
trash can.
It was embarrassing when you started trying to buy it in stores. Can you get any of that ABC gum?
Or like my mom. Oh, I don't know. Whatever. I just keep incriminating myself, but.
It's cute. It's sweet.
It's sweet, yeah. You like you're a big idiot, don't you?
I love him. You're not an idiot.
You think ABC gum, that ABD, that already being digested gum? Oh, God.
Oh, just little pellets of.
Gross.
But
So we went to poop. Thanks, guys.
we went to
That's
poop.
where that went.
He just made light of it.
What's this one? What does Patanjali have to say about? Because I'm surely they covered defecation in there somewhere, didn't they?
Yeah. The words that
would've thought.
the words that are used are it aids in elimination.
Oh, wow. Eliminated. I yell that whenever I go to the bathroom.
But they talk about Mulibanda, right?
Mulabanda is the best thing ever.
So Mulibanda, what do you think that means?
Molabanda?
Yeah.
Is that the new Mumford & Sons? Molabanda, I don't know.
Mula banda.
Money? Is it money? It's got something to do with money? Moolah? Is it?
Moolah? Nope, it's your taint.
At your chain?
And yogis have strong Mulibanda because their core is strong. So Michael Jordan and all
not
the anybody that
Mulibanda.
can dunk and a yogi, they all have tight
Mula
tight buttholes.
bandas. It's not your butthole.
It is funny to say Mulibanda. Mulibanda is funnier. Moolah. But he's not
Moolah
saying it's the butthole. He says
banda.
it's the taint.
It is. It's between the good
perineum.
stuff and the bad
Good
stuff.
stuff and the bad stuff.
Your lock at your butthole is called your Aswini Mudra.
It's your ass. It's not.
It's your ass.
It's not.
So
I swear to
ass,
God, it is.
Vinny.
It's your
Ass, Vinny.
Aswini.
Ass what?
Ass weenie.
Ass weenie bit. Ass weenie.
Mudra.
Ass Vinny Mudra.
Mudra I've heard of.
Yeah, that's
Because they
what
do
it is.
that. They also do that, and that's a name for a movement in like Bollywood dancing, right? Mudras.
Yeah, you do. There are all kinds of mudras you can do with hands and.
I love watching that kind of dancing. I think they invented popping your collar, actually.
So, but there's a difference.
No, they're like,
They did. They're so
It was
amazing.
really weird because it was pre-collars.
yeah, free.
People were like, "What are you doing?"
It's like-
One day you're gonna find out.
It's like you think a hip hop dancer, they were doing that for 1,000 years.
It's true. Those movies are amazing.
Since the
by
day I
way.
was born.
They're amazing.
My girlfriend does. She does these because she dances. You know,
Yeah.
she does like belly dance, and she also she's learned a lot of she did a lot of sort of Indian dancing. So she learned, and sometimes she'll get booked for these shows, and it's like Indian weddings, like these
Yeah.
big Indian parties.
They're
and it's
amazing.
crazy,
Yeah.
and it's like it's so nuts because how do you put this nicely? There's certain I think it's fair to say that there are certain Indian men of a certain generation who had kind of weird relationship with women.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
They're like it's I don't want to say weird, but it's it's culturally specific.
Sure.
Like for instance, she would go and she'd learn this specific dance from a specific Bollywood movie that's from like the 70s. People lost their mind that this white girl knew this dance, and then they all kind of crowded around and they all wanted a picture. But I think she had like a male friend with her, and they just assumed that the male friend was the manager, and they wouldn't talk to her.
Right.
And they would ask,
God.
for permission.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't want to use like
It's cultural. Yeah.
yeah, it's specific, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
must come across it where it's
No, I
No.
don't. No.
no, it's interesting.
Yeah, a friend of ours just got married, and he's Hindu, and his wife is a friend of mine. She's white American, and the wedding though was like amazing. The pictures.
So
I mean, we were
beautiful.
supposed to
Oh
go,
my
but like she
God.
came here to get her dress on Devon Avenue, and then like just all the ceremony, just all the rituals. I was,
Man, they throw down. I was amazed. I
down,
got
dude.
invited
Amazing.
to I was doing a show in New York, and a guy put me on a show, and he invited the audience was 90% Indian American.
Oh, they
and
loved
it's
it.
so crazy because we went to this bar, this party, and it was backing out. Everyone was ordering bottled service. Everyone must have spent $200 within the space of an hour, and then everyone home.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, where's next? I was like, no, I got work in the morning.
dude.
And
Yeah,
they just
they're done.
threw down hard for 2 hours,
Nice.
and then everyone was
Dude,
in a
I
cab.
bartended at a
Crazy.
place in New York
Responsible.
called Prana, like breath, but it was owned by an Indian guy. He was a great guy, Singh something, forget his last name. But the parties they'd have, these guys would come out on a Saturday night. The dudes all drink Johnny Walker Black on the rocks. I mean, to the amount. I mean, like they're like allergic to alcohol in a lot of ways. I mean, like they get drunk quick, and they'd hammer for like 2 hours and leave. The women were drinking too, and they all had Black Amex cards, like all of them. Can I get my credit card? I'm like, what's your last name? They're like, Shaw. I'm like, whoa. Can you be more specific? But they were great. They partied though, and it was right when what's that Slumdog Millionaire came out when I was bartending.
You can't see he just popped his
Sorry, I
collar.
just popped my collar. They had a Slumdog Millionaire party, and it was lit.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, it was sick, and the food was banging. I loved it.
Aaron was dancing the other day. He's got 3 famous moves. One is pop your collar, the other is shoulders.
No,
Do
it's
you-
shoulders. You look at
His
your shoulders when you do
shoulders.
it.
And then mustache. He's got mustache.
See, it just looks like you've worried that you've spilled food on
yeah.
yourself. You're checking your shoulders to see if you've dropped.
No, that's what I told her. I go, she told me to do it. We were going over the skyway. I go, you sure you want me to do this? Because it's a lot of looking inside. I was like, oh, what's over there? I don't know.
And then, do I have mustard on my mustache?
Yeah, it's all about getting food off your face. It's food based.
It's food-based dancing.
But you've seen me cut the rug. I can dance.
I have. You actually have moves. It's very impressive.
It looks weird now because now that I'm chubby, it's not as cool. But
I have moves. I can dance.
you have one dance. You
He's gonna get in so much trouble now.
no matter what the song is, you pop like a fly girl. It's cool.
I can pop and lock, but I don't
It's
always
she
pop.
pop and locks. You know what that is?
No, what is it?
When you watch, it's almost like you dislocate your shoulder. And it's
Well, first of all, that's not what it is.
That's
Do
not
you know what it is?
He doesn't.
How are you a skateboarder and you can't we've found out you can't describe plants or basic dances from the 90s.
Okay, pop. It's different than what you're thinking. You're thinking about the pop like this, pop and lock.
That's the robot.
Yeah,
That's the robot. I can do that
pop
too.
and lock real quick.
No, I'm not doing that.
Wait,
I
what
need
do
the
you
right
think
music.
pop and lock is?
She jams her shoulder in. I don't know. I swear to God.
That's when you've locked yourself in your room and she needs to pop the door open.
In our marriage, we call her dance pop and lock. That's what it is, Adam.
Oh my God.
Anyways, I don't dance anymore, really.
I like it when you dance. I think it's great.
Greatness.
Yeah, and it's an expression of. Do you dance?
I can dance. I mean, I hate saying that. I dance. I wouldn't say I can dance.
Oh, but you do dance. You
Oh, yeah, I like-
willingly,
I-
voluntarily dance.
I like to dance.
That's amazing.
I know a little bit of swing.
There we
I've
go.
taken a few
so
lessons.
fun.
I've done a few things.
Aw.
See, I could get into that because
I can count to
Oh my God,
six.
he would throw me into the rafters and I would be gone for forever.
Of course, I remember I remember like it was yesterday after Swingers came out and the way everyone thought they were into that.
Everyone was doing that.
Made me, and I lived in San Francisco, so there was these bars that like Vespa bars, and
I was
everybody was
at
doing
those. It's so weird. We were
Well,
there at the same time.
Vespa's something else. Vespa bars are like, that's more like 60s mom.
Well, they would show up on their Vespa, but they'd all end up being in their swing gear, and they come into this bar called Deluxe and drink martinis and act like.
The half-life of Swingers, because when did Swingers come out? Like 95?
95, yeah.
96. So when I came to Chicago in like 2004, there was still like decent-sized swing bars you could go to. There was a place called the Green
Mile?
The Green Mile, yeah. It was a prison. We would all go to the prison and dance around the giant black man.
I'm being good. Give me some coffee.
We would all just
Sam
swing.
Rockwell, that's his performance in that movie. Sorry.
It was called something like the Green Dolphin Street. It was called,
Okay.
and it was on there. I think on Armitage, and it was crazy, man, because they would have. You would go there on a Tuesday. They would have a 30-piece live jazz band.
Wow.
And it was weird, and it was just you could tell people who were like still at the dying waves of the swingers revolution, and then some like really old guys who were like amazing like dancers. But it kind of lasts. You could see it dying a death because it was expensive. It's so expensive.
Yeah.
It's awesome dancing to a live band.
It's amazing.
It's so crazy that it's like I can't imagine of a single bar that would bother with that expense now.
I don't know. It's really sad,
Chicago?
actually.
Because sadly, not that I really want to be into swing dancing, but like people don't go out and do shit like that anymore. They don't care. They're like, even like New York's that way. It's like instead of having tons of live music, there's like every place has a DJ. And it's just a bunch of people dressed up, doing
Aren't
coke.
there still blues bands here, though, that do live stuff?
Yeah,
I feel
I'd
like there are.
That Halstead part's still going strong?
Yeah, I think that'll never go. Yeah, that's a
I
good
love
point.
that. That's
a good
amazing.
point. But the thing is about that is, that's
Blues music.
that's like you can have one guy with a guitar, or you can have like three people, but it's kind of, and they just rotate those people out, and then they just work them all the time, and it's it's kind of cheap, but it's you do. One thing I noticed about the sort of northern states in America, you guys don't dance at shows at concerts.
Too cool for school.
It's
I would.
Weird.
It's called playing the wall. It's whack. I like to dance.
know.
I like to dance at one of my
dance,
favorite.
too.
I saw the Pixies, and this is when phone. Like I think their was it 2007? I think.
Yeah.
So everyone had their bigger phones then, and this guy was standing in front of me with his phone the whole time, and I was like dancing. I go, dude. My favorite band is playing. Can you like have fun or get out of my face? And it just got bad. I was like, this sucks. Because people were just standing there like.
No, I guess everybody's got their phones.
It's so.
It's just so like you're there, dude. I don't
take one photo.
Yeah.
Put it. Take one photo.
Yeah.
Post it.
Put it away, and don't take a video. Oh yeah, I saw them last night. Oh, that's how they're meant to be played.
Yeah.
Through the speaker of your shitty phone.
Like I heard Jack Black will like stop playing if people do that. He walks off. Maybe they just lock everyone's phones up now. But
I think they do. I think they do.
Are we like way off topic?
It goes wherever it goes.
It goes wherever it goes.
We don't know what we're doing.
I saw a band. I saw this fantastic band. There's this fantastic punk band from England called Idols, and they're really great because they're like it's kind of very heavy, sort of aggressive music. But their whole thing is like, they're pro-immigration, like pro gender fluidity, pro they're like really their message is very kind of chill, and their music is very kind of angry and loud. And we were at this punk show, and it's funny where like people think they have to behave in a certain way, and it was. The first or second song happens, and the people start throwing pint glasses from the back. And the lead singer just goes, "If you throw a drink at a show, you're either a bully or a coward." And it just stopped. It was fantastic.
I love that.
Where'd you see it? Where'd you see them at?
That's amazing.
Lincoln Hall. They were fantastic.
I'd
they
like
were
to see
so good.
Yeah.
Well, that's reminding me. That's how punk music was when I was coming. Like the Dead Kennedys and stuff. It's all the
man.
the positivity too. Because I went and saw Fear when only one person in the band was still original, but like young kids now when they think it's slam dance, that's what I gotta do. These kids were no necks, like they were literally hurting each other. They were fighting, and I go, that's not how we did it.
Right.
That's not how we did it. We jumped. You trusted when you leaped out. People carried you. You got banged up a little bit, but it was fun.
It was really fun.
I mean, I can fight you. I don't have any music for it. But
It's like it's like get off of my shit and go do your own thing if you want to go.
I can beatbox when I beat the shit out of you. Is that the same thing?
Stop this now. How are we on time? What time is it?
Why do you? It's right in front of you. I love you. It's right in
7:35.
front of you.
Why do you always do that to me? I said, how are we on time?
Again.
I don't know what time we started, though.
We're at 54 minutes.
Jeez.
What is time, man?
We've been fighting so much.
What is time,
Time is a
man?
flat circle.
I thought that was the message.
Hey,
here,
man.
It is.
If you
when
keep,
you look into eternity, guys.
yeah.
if you
How's
keep
it going
time,
for
time
you?
keeps you.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yes.
we've been
What?
fighting a lot today, and I don't want to fight anymore.
I walked away
He
from him
couldn't see
today.
the time
because
because there was a film over the screen.
Call back.
Maya, illusion. Yes, I love it.
Reincarnation is the ultimate callback, isn't it? Really?
I don't want to have to drink that drink when I'm old.
Reincarnation is the ultimate callback, but don't you usually get excited about a callback? I feel like I'm not sure about. Well, I'm hoping.
I get
I'm
excited because tomorrow's Woo Wednesday, Wu Tang Saga.
What?
Oh,
On
yeah, it's
Hulu,
actually really
the
good.
story of Wu Tang.
It's really good.
Oh yeah.
It's great.
Woo Wednesday.
Woo Wednesday.
It's not what I call it. I call it Hump Day, but whatever.
Always trying to.
That's what it's called. It's called Hump Day.
Aswini
Why,
Mudra.
why is it called?
Aswini
Aswini.
Well, yeah, okay. So,
Mudra.
but what is this in Sanskrit?
That's clapping.
Sexy time. What is sexy time?
Well, they teach brahmacharya, which is merging with your one. So basically either celibacy or having sex with your soulmate only.
Only?
Only.
Oh.
There's not a lot
What
of
do you
that
mean
happening.
only like a question?
But they're the same. But they're the same thing. It's
what
considered.
was that?
So either they're
For
both.
real, you and the Uber driver talking about having wives and girlfriends at the
I
same
wasn't.
time.
He
Whatever.
was. He was such a massage. He was like, yeah, well, I work a lot because I got a girlfriend and a wife. And I was like, you're crazy.
And then he's like, sorry, ma'am. Just like, whatever, dude.
My life is one big Uber pool. You know what I mean? It's lots of people who shouldn't really meet.
Gross.
Have you ever seen Dale McPeak in an Uber pool with you?
No. One day.
One
guys,
day.
guys
He's
can
gonna be
dream,
like,
can he?
he'll be like,
Going to
motherfucker.
happen.
I don't.
So wait, Adam had a question about Aswini Mudra. What's the
Oh no,
question?
I had a question. Well, first of all, no, I had a question about this. The thing you were talking about, the sex thing, where it's like. So I think it's interesting that they're saying that if you remain celibate, that concept is the same as having just one partner.
So I've always found this this concept of brahmacharya very interesting as well, because they would take the vow of celibacy, but they would only take it after they were a householder. So you have your like grihastha stage, and you have your babies, and you have your job, and you take care of your family, and then when you renunciate all of that. So your family knows that you're leaving, you're never going to see them again. You leave the oldest in
Jesus.
charge.
Wild.
And you go live in like an ashram or a cave somewhere.
It's such a nicer. What's it called? It's such a nicer word for midlife crisis.
Right? So, but what I always found interesting and sort of controversial about the concept is that it's not celibacy if you're having sex to be a householder. You're still having sex. So I get that you can take that vow of celibacy at any time.
What has celibacy ever done for anyone? What's the?
Well, the truth is that ojas, that preserved energy, is the strongest energy that we carry, hands down, as a species, because we are meant to be here to procreate. So sexual energy is the strongest enery that we carry.
Right.
So if you preserve that energy and you learn
What
to
about 5-hour energy?
you do. How about 5 hour? No. And you learn to preserve it and then distribute it to be more functional in the world.
Right.
And like productive.
Yeah.
And yeah, then it's useful. You utilize it.
So
Rather than giving it away frivolously. You know, when you wake up next to a stranger, it doesn't feel good.
Too many drinks.
Just saying.
it might have felt good for a
That,
minute.
well, I mean, you know, not when you wake up the next day.
Is that what
It's-
they say? Like, before you pitch in a big game, you shouldn't have sex, like in Bull Durham, right?
I don't believe that.
No.
No, I think it always helps. Everything.
She thinks
Especially if it's with your opponent.
Yeah. With you. Come here, John.
That's true.
Assert dominance.
And manipulate the situation.
Dominance.
It's so hard for them to beat you when you've made them feel
We are
real
trying
for the
to-
first
So
time in
hard
their
to
life.
have them
You know,
beat
you say that
when
about
you've
sex, and
already-
we're trying to
they've
get on the
already
same
beat you.
page. I mean, it's like it's hard for, like, we have different views on sex, like having it, how much we want to have it in a week, and you think it cures everything. It's the cure to any mood, whatever.
I feel like I should have been warned that this might be a topic. You talk about your fucking sex life.
do you think? Okay.
Oh, because we started talking about this.
Let me ask you this, Adam. If you're having just the worst day, let's say your weekend got canceled, you got whatever, you lost your ID, is having sex gonna make it like feel like make you feel better? No,
That's a good point.
it doesn't.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd say my default answer would be no, but I'd also like, who knows, man? Like sometimes, I'm a big fan of the phrase "bang it out," man. Sometimes
Bang it out. That's what she thinks.
Sometimes you gotta bang it
I
out,
agree,
man.
but like, I mean, we'll literally be in the middle of like a shitstorm. She's like, this would make us feel better. I'm like, no, I'd still be pretty worried about it. I'd probably look worried the whole time.
I'm not looking at you.
Right.
Jesus H.
That's why the Kama Sutra was invented.
Exactly.
Literally, so you didn't have to look at your partner's dumb,
Or
worried face.
that's why the Brooks,
It is
that's why
a
the
sutra.
That's why the Brookstone
as
foot
well.
massager was created. Jesus.
Well, here, I feel like
Was that Sanskrit?
No. This is what I'm saying, though.
I feel like that it is also one of my vices and one of my attachments, because it's not great to want to do that, to want to bang everything out as well. It does help,
Well-
and it does make me feel better. But I also think that, that's not the best way. I don't know.
Just because we're trying to meet each other halfway with that. Like, I want to be a good partner that's like down to fuck a lot or whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever. But it's like it's one.
Are you
almost
gonna
made it.
make this into a song?
He almost made it through the podcast without going down this road.
What being
But we
dirty?
didn't make it.
Listen, more than once a day. You're kidding me that I'm gonna actually want to. That's all. Have sex more than once in a day. I don't know. Sorry.
It depends if it's every day, though.
That's 7 days a week, every day. That'd be
14 times a week?
That's not true.
That's
By the way.
Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna lose this. First of all, nobody feels sorry for me.
No,
Nobody understands
they
how I
don't.
feel. But then people will say,
I get it, man. I get
No,
not
but it's
wanting
funny
to
because people are like, oh yeah, men peak in their mid 20s and women keep going. It's like, then why does everyone ignore that when they're breaking someone's balls about not wanting to do it 20 times a day? Not you, but
Well, it sounds like your balls are pre-broken, so that might be the issue.
I like sex. I do.
Your Honor.
Yes.
You're on. I'm down
Yes,
to
this
fuck.
is every podcast. Oh,
Did I say
my
it every
God.
podcast?
You do. I think.
Well,
you
maybe
do.
that's our cue because I got dirty. Whatever.
I mean,
and we'll
I
wrap
like
it up.
you to get drunk.
I don't think it's dirty to like.
It's
talk about
not.
sex.
I am
It's
trying- I'm
beautiful.
You didn't talk about putting your chakra in her Asvini Mudra.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when you talk to other people and they're like, I haven't had sex
The
with
chakra, is that where it comes from? Is that one of the mudras?
Well,
The
chakras
chakra?
are
Like,
the
I know-
seven
I
systems.
have a
You could
friend-
say Muladhara chakra, sure.
No, my
Oh,
friend.
okay.
My friend said my wife and I have not had. She has not had sex with me in 6 months. That's insane. But I am nowhere even near that neighborhood. So I should be like actually.
Jesus, I mean, the lady doth protest too much, doesn't it?
I don't know.
Fucking hell.
Oh, my
All I know
God.
is that
So sad for you. Your life is so hard. Or not.
everybody's got problems. We're gonna wrap it up. That was good.
All right.
I wanna ask Adam what you got going on.
Yeah, tell us what's up.
I got fuck all going on.
Yeah, you.
Fuck.
No
I
worries.
don't know. I got Twitter and Facebook is all my shows. I'm going out to LA for a little bit in
Good.
October. That's
Yeah.
good. Oh shit!
Did
I
you get
know
a
what's
hold of-
happening at the end of the month. I'm on the 26th and the 27th. I'm going to be at the High Plains
Oh, that's
Comedy
right.
Festival.
Yeah,
in
dude.
Denver.
Nice.
It's gonna be
I'm really
awesome.
looking forward to it, and I don't
A bunch of
know what's going
Chicago, a couple others too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's gonna be great. And Adam Caton Holland is one of the people who runs
Yes.
that thing, and he's a sweetheart. And it's gonna be great, man. I love Denver. Denver's fucking awesome.
Good time. Drink a weed soda. Anyways, how about you, baby?
Same 2 dates. 26th and 27th of October. Brian Kest is coming to Chicago as well as the Lansing studio. I love him. He's
And
my
everybody
sweet
that's
pal.
the yogis know who that is.
Yeah, Brian's got his own platform too. It's poweryoga.com. You can download my classes on that platform. But even sooner, Taylor Hunt is coming this weekend to the Lansing studio. He's the best. He was on this podcast with us as well. And that Sunday, I will be on his Codcast.
Podpath.
All right.
That's
his podcast.
That's reincarnation. When you were a fish in a former life, you're cod passed.
That's true. I will be on his podcast, Heartbreak Kids.
Adam, sharp.
We'll record.
What about you, James?
Stand-Up's final rooftop show, September 21st. Tickets are on sale now at standupstandup.net. The best
cool.
comedians in the country. Please come and hang out. End the summer with us.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will be, what am I doing? September 18th, Doug Stanhope, Lansing, Michigan. Shane Moss this Friday at the Fledge in Lansing. And then I'm with Robert Kelly in Windsor on the 26th, and on the 27th I'm in Kalamazoo.
Nice. I do want to say this out loud because I feel it needs to be said, and I'm not trying to be a downer, but I have to put it out there. We were supposed to do a retreat in Freeport, Bahamas.
Oh,
Grand Bahama Island is basically gone. So what I'm asking everyone please to do is, there are so many ways to help right now. I can't even get in touch with the people I've known for 25 years to know whether they're dead or alive. And Tano Beach, which is the timeshare that we've always owned in, they've got a specific GoFundMe for the people who've worked there for 20 years plus. Just they have nothing at this point. There's nowhere to even get groceries. So that hurricane sat over that island for 36 hours. So if you can help, please do research ways to do that. We're going to post on the Hilltop Yoga site as well. I think we worry about a lot of little bullshit when there's a lot of big bullshit going on. So, all right, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I love you.
I love you too.
I'm bored with you.
Bored with you.
Man, child.